Ralph's mood when I gave him the game ball?
He was very excited, and his teammates were very excited for him. You know, Ralph's very, very special. Very, very special player and special person. So I think it kind of surprised him. But after he made the run, that was the first thing that came to my mind was after we win this game, I'm going to get that game ball to Ralph Ball.
Just kind of what was going through your mind as you watched him run on that play?
I thought he was going to score, you know, and then all of a sudden one of his tires went flat, and you know, we know the issues that he's had, you know, with his wheels, you know. So just, you know, hats off to the guy who out there and played Big Ten football, and with the circumstances that he's been through. Again, I can't say enough great things about Ralph.
Those two possessions back to back, did that sort of change everything for you a little bit? You got the big play with Akeem Hunt there, and then Bolden almost taking it on the very next drive.
Well, we knew towards the end of the ball game that all we had to do was manufacture a couple first downs, and then we were going to be in control and be able to secure the win. You know, obviously it's never over until it's over. We spent a lot of time on special teams, and you know, they came out with the onside kick attempt, and I thought Tavia did a great job. We practiced that particular kick all the time throughout the course of the week. So I'm not surprised to see him come up and make the play. That was a huge play, and then to be able to go out there and pound away and get a couple of first downs was a difference maker here at the end of the ball game.
Danny, the pass to Hunt, was that a similar thing that you threw on the first play at Ohio State? And was it the exact same thing?
We have several versions of it.
Okay.
It falls in that family.
It falls in the family. Right. But how did it, you know, did you see something, or they see something upstairs?
Well, we keep that play alive all the time. It's a good play, and you know, sometimes it's a great play when you have a very active defense that's huge on the pursuit part of it. So no surprise to see us run it. We have several different ways to present that package.
We saw Gary Nord was in the press box today. What was his role? Did he have a role?
Gary's really having a tough time. You know, his role was to be here with us today, and he really struggled. You know, the bus ride was very difficult for him to the point where he couldn't get off the bus and have dinner with us last night. Had to stay on the bus, but he's going to be there with us. You know, he's there with us. He's part of the family, and his role was to be there with us as part of the family. And I think that's a boost for our players, and certainly a boost for Coach Nord.
Danny, when they early in the game, they were moving the ball a little bit, and Josh Johnson forces the 2 fumbles in a row to, you know, not allow them to get a touchdown, get any momentum going. How big were those plays?
Well, they were huge. If we would have capitalized on it, you know, then it might have been a whole different ball game. We could have got ahead, stayed ahead, forced them to pass. That was kind of our MO, if you will, coming into the ball game to try to shut down their run game. We forced them to have to pass the football, and we felt like we could be more effective at defending the pass than they would the manufacturing passing game. So, you know, great play by our defense, you know, to get the takeaways early in the ball game. We missed out on some opportunities offensively, but played hard enough and good enough throughout the course of the ball game where it didn't become a factor in the end.
DeLampa wasn't here today. Was that just the family issue that he had a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, you know, he lost his dad the night after the 2 games ago. Penn State. That's the Penn State game. He lost his dad that evening, and he's there with his family at the services today. So our hearts up with DeLampa.
And just Gabe with the rib injuries didn't go today?
Gabe was out.
What is it about your team that they've been able to respond these last 2 weeks when you know that they've needed to get wins?
Well, they work, and they want to win, and they want to have fun, and they want to be successful. I think all those things are very, very obvious. And these guys have paid a heck of a price and been very committed. They paid the price to win. You know, we hit a tough spot in the season where we played against great competition, and fell behind a little bit, you know, from a manpower standpoint with injuries. The teams that we've lost to, you know, their collective losses, they're in double digits. You know, so we lost to some great football teams at a tough time of the season where the competition was tough and our team was probably its leanest and thinnest.
How do you think the offensive line played today?
I think they played very well in the second half. And again, I'm going to reserve my judgment until I look at the film. But I wasn't so sure about the first half because we wanted to manufacture a strong inside run game, and we're not able to do that. But I like at the end of the ball game, we were able to manufacture a run game. And you know, Illinois is a much better football team maybe than their record indicates. We found the All-Star on Sunday night and started looking at the film, and you see how many really good players that they have. A very, very talented football team, one of the more talented football teams, you know, in our league. And so obviously we had some concerns coming in, but we had to play very well, you know, take care of the football, not turn it over a bunch. And it was really important coming into the ball game that we were able to be two-dimensional offensively. They have great talent, and we keep off balance a little bit by establishing a strong run game and a strong passing game. Then we felt like we could maybe have the upper hand when it's all said and done. But they're a very, very talented football team, exceptionally talented.